Trees down, buildings destroyed, and that system on the move tonight. Rob Marciano is standing by. The hate-fueled threat, a self-avowed white nationalist in custody after a chilling online post seen firing a rifle with the sounds of sirens, tagging a Jewish community center, an arsenal discovered when authorities moved in. The freak accident after a small plane hits a home, killing the pilot and one person inside, another still unaccounted for. Investigators on the scene tonight. The massive show of force today in Hong Kong. Organizers say well over 1 million people in the streets defying police in one of the biggest pro-democracy protests yet. Our reporter is there. Recession politics. President Trump heads back to the White House facing growing fears over a possible recession, insisting moments ago we have the strongest economy in the world. But his 2020 rivals say not so fast. The desperate search intensifying tonight for 2 firefighters missing at sea after setting out on a fishing trip meant to honor a lost relative, and what authorities have just revealed. And the dramatic dock rescue, a cruise ship passenger in a wheelchair falling into the water, and the Good Samaritans who jumped in to save her.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Whit Johnson, in for Tom Yamas. We begin tonight with dangerous weather battering millions from the Midwest to the Northeast. The powerful line of storms triggering a microburst in this neighborhood outside Pittsburgh, tossing garbage cans and causing electrical wires to pop. The system toppling trees onto cars, ripping the roof off one building and causing the partial collapse of another. And take a look at this dramatic lightning show spotted by storm chasers on a Kansas interstate. The extreme weather threat is not over tonight, and there could be more on the way for the Monday commute. Here's senior meteorologist Rob Marciano.
Tonight, severe thunderstorms bringing damaging winds and torrential rains to millions. In Kansas, watch this lightning-packed storm caught on camera. A lightning strike blamed for this house fire in Overland Park. Overnight in Walton, ferocious winds of more than 70 miles per hour derailing dozens of cars off this train. In North Carolina, strong gusts brought down trees across Charlotte this weekend. Watch as surveillance cameras captured this tree falling onto a car. Officials say one person suffered traumatic injuries when another tree slammed onto a mobile home. Heavy rains blamed for this 50-car pileup outside Durham. Traffic backed up for miles. And in Millvale, Pennsylvania, this home security video obtained by WTAE shows trash cans sweeping across the yard, branches torn off trees, and sparks from a utility pole.
This is one of the worst I've ever seen. We're just glad there was no casualties.
Meanwhile, a microburst tearing through an 8-block radius, destroying parts of this building. This billboard smashing right into it. The storm toppling power lines, leaving many without power.
Rob Marciano joining us live. And Rob, you're tracking a threatening line of storms right now.
Yeah, a couple of lines, including the boomers you can hear overhead here in New York City. We have that. We've got a line that's moving through eastern Pennsylvania and upstate New York, including Schenectady. And then that's all ahead of this watch box that includes Illinois, much of Indiana, and Ohio. The atmosphere primed here for some action. It's going to have some added lift with this front that's going to be pushing east overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow, running into a lot of tropical moisture. So we'll look for those boomers to reinvigorate late in the day tomorrow, right in time for the evening commute across the I-95 corridor. Ahead of that, big-time heat tomorrow. Heat advisories up for Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey, much of Connecticut, and up the Hudson could see temperatures that reach into the mid-90s, only sparking more of those storms tomorrow.
And busy tomorrow morning as well. Rob, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next tonight to Ohio, where a 20-year-old white supremacist is in custody today after allegedly posting a chilling online threat to shoot up a Jewish community center. Inside the suspect's home, the FBI recovering a massive arsenal, including multiple semi-automatic weapons, a gas mask, and body armor. It's the latest in a string of arrests involving mass shooting threats, allegedly driven by hate in the wake of the El Paso massacre. Here's ABC's Zachary Quiche.
Tonight, this man is under arrest. Police saying this disturbing video posted online by James Reardon Jr. showing him firing a semi-automatic weapon with sirens blaring was a mass shooting threat. A chilling comment next to the post saying police identify the shooter of a Youngstown Jewish family center as a local white nationalist. The post also tagged the center. The FBI raiding Reardon's house. They say they found a large collection of semi-automatic rifles, dozens of rounds of ammunition, a gas mask, and bulletproof armor.
That kicked off an intense investigation, a very rapidly evolving investigation because of the way the world is at any time.
The 20-year-old has been charged with menacing. In their affidavit, the police also claiming Reardon attended the deadly 2017 Charlottesville Unite the Right rally. He spoke to National Geographic about his beliefs.
Nationalist, I want a homeland for white people, and I think every race should have a homeland for their own race.
Following the deadly mass shooting in El Paso, the FBI has been asking for the public's help fighting a rise in domestic terrorism. Less than 2 weeks ago, federal agents in Las Vegas arresting 23-year-old Connor Climo, accused of plotting to blow up a synagogue or gay bar. And in Florida, 26-year-old Richard Clayton arrested after this Facebook post saying, 3 more days of probation left, then I get my AR-15 back. Don't go to Walmart next week. Both have alleged ties to white supremacist ideology. Reardon was arrested shortly after the raid on his home. He's being held on $250,000 bond, and he'll appear in court on Monday morning. Whit.
All right, Zachary Quiche, thank you. Now to a freak and deadly accident involving a small plane slamming into a home near Poughkeepsie, New York. The pilot of the aircraft and 1 resident inside killed in the crash. 2 other passengers survived. There is also a second person on the ground who remains unaccounted for as investigators comb the scene. ABC's Kaylee Hartung has the latest.
Tonight, at least 2 are dead after a small plane crashed into this family's home.
The house is completely engulfed, completely destroyed.
3 people, a father and his 2 daughters, inside when the twin-engine aircraft carrying 3 others slammed into the back of this house Saturday afternoon, bursting into flames.
That's 911. We need an ambulance to the scene.
The quiet neighborhood rocked.
It was so hot that you could not go near the house at that point. I saw the plane sticking out of the house. I mean, you could see, I'm not even sure what I was looking at.
Authorities say the plane reported engine trouble shortly after takeoff. Moments later, crashing. The pilot and 1 of those inside killed. 1 occupant of the home still unaccounted for tonight. The plane's 2 passengers making it out alive. 1 woman inside the home using this ladder to escape.
She jumped out of the window onto a ladder with her dog.
Neighbors struggling to understand how this could happen.
They would give you the shirt off their back. You know, it's really heartbreaking.
Whit, tonight NTSB investigators are on the scene, combing through debris, trying to figure out what happened. Whit.
Kaylee, our thanks to you tonight. And another deadly small plane crash in Delaware. 2 people were killed when the twin-engine aircraft went down in the woods near Delaware's Newcastle Airport. The pilot radioed the control tower shortly after takeoff, reporting they needed to return to the airport before that crash. Now to politics and the economy as fears mount among many Americans of a possible recession. Late today, President Trump returning to Washington after what the White House called a working vacation in New Jersey, claiming he doesn't see a recession and calling the American economy the world's strongest. But his 2020 rivals on the campaign trail telling a much different story. ABC's Rachel Scott with late word from the president.
Tonight, President Trump insisting he has no concerns about the strength of the U.S. economy.
We have the strongest economy by far in the world.
But the stalled negotiations with China rattling investors, and the president trying to downplay some economists' fears.
I don't see a recession.
Well, first of all, I don't see a recession.
His top economic advisors backing him up.
I think we're in pretty good shape, and I want to just say, you know, we should not be afraid of optimism.
What I can tell you with certainty is that we're going to have a strong economy through 2020 and beyond.
Just a day after Wall Street's biggest drop of the year, President Trump warning supporters the markets will crash if they don't re-elect him.
You have no choice but to vote for me because your 401ks, down the tubes, everything's going to be down the tubes. So whether you love me or hate me, you got to vote for me.
And tonight, after delaying those tariffs on certain goods, the president saying China is ready to make a deal. But he's not there yet.
I mean, if I wanted to make a bad deal and settle on China, the market would go up, but it wouldn't be the right thing to do. I'm just not ready to make a deal yet. China would like to make a deal. I'm not ready.
His 2020 rivals saying American businesses and consumers are concerned that they'll be paying the price of the trade war.
I'm concerned for this country. I'm concerned for working families. It is hurtling this country and the world economy towards recession.
The economy is in a very risky place right now. And every day that goes by, Donald Trump makes it worse.
The economy is falling apart on his watch.
The president arguing that's not the case.
We're not paying for the tariffs. China is paying for the tariffs for the 100th time. In the case of China, China is eating the tariffs.
Rachel Scott joining us now from New Jersey. And Rachel, the president just now said the U.S. has been having, quote, very, very substantive talks with China. Rachel, where do those negotiations stand right now?
We know at the very least the two sides are talking. There is a teleconference meeting on the books for later this month, and the president says if that goes well, then Chinese officials will travel to the U.S. to continue negotiations. But you heard the bottom line straight from the president tonight. Still no deal. Whit?
And the market's looking for a resolution. Rachel Scott for us. Thank you. Turning overseas now to the spectacular show of force today in Hong Kong. The massive crowd defying police orders. Take a look. Organizers say more than 1 million people packed Victoria Park in one of the biggest pro-democracy protests since demonstrations began back in June. At the same time, the Chinese military keeping a close eye from a sports stadium just across the border. ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell is in Hong Kong.
Tonight, protesters young and old, a sea of citizens beneath a sea of umbrellas, out in force, braving the rain and defying police orders not to march through the heart of Hong Kong. Roads and sidewalks overflowing. Organisers claim it was at least 1.7 million strong, nearly a quarter of the entire population here, marching for their right to democracy and against growing Chinese influence.
Hundreds of thousands of people have gathered in central Hong Kong. They refuse to step to one side, even if the Chinese send troops across the border.
The turnout closely watched as a test of public support after a turbulent 11 weeks, where riot police have at times rained tear gas on protesters on the streets, clashing with them in the airport.
The campaign has the support, but the government doesn't.
Protesters making 5 key demands centred around the decision-making and freedoms for the citizens of this global financial centre.
And our demand is crystal clear. We hope President Xi could realize that sending troops to Hong Kong is not the way out.
The threat of Chinese military intervention looming over this semi-autonomous territory, Beijing warning they can stop this at any moment. Staging military demonstrations just across the border in nearby Shenzhen, only 20 miles away, releasing this video in their own show of force and a very clear threat.
Are you afraid that the Chinese will send troops or police across the border?
Yes, of course we will be afraid.
Tonight, Hong Kong's Beijing-backed government saying rebuilding social order is the highest priority when everything calms down. But the question is how and when that'll happen.
And that question being asked around the world. Ian Pannell joining us from Hong Kong. And Ian, protesters telling you tonight they will stay in the streets despite the threat of a violent crackdown.
Yeah, that's right, Whit. No one is ready to back down. This protest was a huge success and peaceful. And you know what's remarkable? They're not unafraid, but they are determined. It's now or never. So the Chinese have a dilemma here. If they offer concessions, it risks setting a dangerous precedent for a one-party communist state that relies on authoritarian rule. And if they crack down violently, then the world is watching and can respond economically. And President Trump, in those comments this evening, also saying that he will find it difficult to do a trade deal with China if it doesn't respond to the crisis here humanely. Whit?
Ian Pannell for us again. Thank you tonight. Next, the wedding celebration shattered by a suicide attack in Kabul. More than 60 killed, hundreds more wounded, and with ISIS claiming responsibility. President Trump responded late today. Here's ABC's Julia McFarlane.
Tonight, that most universal, joyful celebrations of love turning into tragedy. A wedding in Kabul, followed by funerals. After a suicide bomber, surrounded by families with their children, detonated his explosives by the stage. More than 60 lives lost in that moment and nearly 200 injured. The groom devastated. "I've lost hope. I've lost my brother, my friends who came to join my wedding party," he said. ISIS claiming responsibility for the attack that came just a day after President Trump hosted a meeting in Bedminster with his Afghan envoy and top cabinet officials on the current negotiations with the Taliban.
We're there for one reason. We don't want that to be a laboratory. Okay? It can't be a laboratory for terror.
President Trump has been pushing to